It's evening and it's gardening time. Carrots, they're going to be short. They are going to be short because they did not have enough room to develop. This is cool. This is really cool. Enthusiasm to inspire and educate. And I think if you asked him what is his legacy, I think he would say education as much as anything, to inspire and educate people about all these things on planet Earth. And that keeps driving him. And you know, I first worked with him when I was in my 20s, and he told me the project we were working on, he was going to retire at the end of that project. Here we are, well, nearly getting on for 40 years later, and he's never going to retire. 99, tomorrow.
Is incredible. Mike Gunson, you are a lucky man working with such a fantastic character. Thanks so much for being with us, taking us through your memories of working with David Attenborough. Thank you.
I have never seen anything like this. So it's a complete new way of I would not say inseminating, I say implanting. Really, something must have happened. One does not really know what. Maybe the wrong texts were being sent out to the wrong people. Das ist ja da. I indeed did not see anything like this before. A complete surprise.
We tried to show what the south part of Norway can be and is. Most people, they don't know what is under the water in the Nordic seas. It's totally different from tropical fishes with the colors. It's different.
So what they can do to animals, they obviously can do with plants as well. Changing course of nature.
Before we dare to go on with a project like this. To come into this room under the water, that it gives us new opportunities. It gives you a totally different setting where you have time. You have plenty of time to do the observations. We have the brown, the green, the red seaweeds. So yeah, we think also in our cold waters we have spectacular colors. The head chef, Nikolai, he's been working on the menu now for 1.5 years, just working with it and foraging and exploring new ways of using different variety of the sea. In the mornings I like to go out and different kind of things. Right now it's time of year, it's mostly seaweed. I feel being out in nature and foraging for 2 hours before you have to go in the kitchen and be there the rest of the day is really nice. I think it's so nice to tell the guests that this forest just out here, 150 meters from the restaurant, this still is the chef was diving for this morning. There's so many things that are not getting used.
And now putting it into the earth feels like being a dentist oneself. Yeah, so
It's definitely better for them.
this is really astonishing.
The things next door.
One wonders if they do that only with carrots or with other things there as well. The company is German, I suppose.
I think it's going to bring people closer to who they actually are and in relationship to nature and the borderline that we have here between water.
No, it's EU. It is Essen. It is indeed Germany. Aschersleben. Aschersleben. Yeah, yeah, one gets some in, I would not say inspiration, but association. Plural. So use your dads, yeah, use your dads. Don't become as the film End of 90s suggested with another teacher's daughter, the one that was together with Bond, but yeah, so astonishing, totally astonishing. But man muss wirklich sagen, a handy solution.
Hello, thanks for joining me, Thomas Schaffernacker, with your latest weather update. Let's see what's happening on the weather front across North America through the middle part of the week. Well, storms that are currently over Texas and some nasty ones as well will be moving eastwards over the next day or so. To the north, we have an area of high pressure, so things settled for places like Winnipeg, some sunshine on the way. In the tropics,
but it sticks. The impression sticks in the brain, engraving-wise, so one really does not forget that one has seen this.
And more storms to come the other side of the Caribbean, for example, around the Leeward Islands or into Puerto Rico. Heavy showers north in the tropics across the Amazon from Venezuela towards Suriname, but by the time you get to the northeast of Brazil, it's much drier. Had some storms in Uruguay as well as southern areas of Chile.
So, to give here a hint of what I was doing when writing and why and how that is contested to being mine, is indeed an example of the in inverted commas, if you want to, according to my solution and my case, my life, the inextricable, as if inextricable, combination of two halves of one core, that then would be a complex. And the whole is criminally relevant because I have been made only to suffer here. This does not concern any inseminations, but any type of that one constitutes a human and is protected by the German StGB. So here we are in midst of my laptop and a more recent text, so this serves as a kind of a time frame determining means. So I wrote that text in English already. 2004, no, prior, I would say prior, and there I would ponder how things are being done when in dark chambers. One could encounter, well, as long as you are looking halfway, simply go in one yourself. But what if, yeah, what if? And this is not a natural cowardness, but a teaching derivable from the very beginnings of my mind map. It's my mind map, because otherwise it does not make sense. Grab into your own pasts, and then one could see if there are similarities, but simply taking over another one's story, including all kinds of injuries, is at best, one must say, totally stupid, and at worst, I don't know. It is really questionable that people, 13-year-olds, older if from yours, really thought that such a work taking 5 years and so on and so forth was written as a present for never to be known persons or even persons that are planned to be introduced. So also here I say thank you very much. No thanks. You will have found ways to circumvent that and make that as necessary, but I can say no thanks. They look similar. Ziggy, yeah, I still get a 20 euros, prospects of more, but if in their line is one that formerly had studied law and still was left in halfway pieces to recollect some bits and pieces from the past, then of course I'm out on grounds of her having made herself acquainted longer than I, and on other grounds, more effective. Totally astonishing, those carrots. So it would concern the finger play, as I would call it. Concerning not the question how to make unwanted women pregnant, but how things can be led towards without telling anything, and having missed out telling anything on prior fingers, so to speak, a finger representing noun-wise expressible
They say they will not be blowing up ships anymore.
expressible.
And that's what the purpose of what we were doing. So that's just news. We just found out about that. So I think it's very
psychological, the communicative, the responsibility,
as you know,
so on and so forth.
Various seas.
So this has been my
Just the canal. It
whole
was
problem.
a lot of other places.
And people shouting once in a while behind me, reminding me when I'm on pauses and breaks. Here at home, the computer is rating that is infected, and we won't tell you who is behind.
The United States began airstrikes on Houthi targets in Yemen in January of last year under President Joe Biden. Well, those were expanded in March of this year after Donald Trump took office.
One would assume that it concerns a person that at a later point of time would be convinced to better leave the country, or else to vanish. Shall we build a case and solve it for free? We, meaning me here, for the time being, there is no one who would bring it back and have money in a plastic bag with. So, how can that be done? That one, all of a sudden, him or herself, would become blackmailable and threatenable, and would be made to but accept. Paragraphs-wise, if the condition of his former life was totally fantastic, one could consider something in the realms of 223 StGB, then proceeding with 234 StGB, maybe surpassing 239 StGB, of course 240, if that one let's assume a computer savvy. If that one is still equipped, one would have to consider two, and if he even does not have it on his on any device, on any physical device, but simply in the head represented, then indeed, nonetheless, albeit the requirement of 242 that a thing has to be stolen, paragraph 90 BGB, one would have to consider 242 less degree nonetheless. And of course, one would say a fat plus behind, if one is with me and Abi is with me. Then 249, totally befriended with that 243. Yeah. So this is that, and then the whole business that I comprised in the terminus criminal core complex that would proceed on another level. So, and now let's assume one wants to have that person back. The former owner or employer. Here now, one could consider. Here it becomes really tricky because one does not know who is able to divert people even stealing wise, if the brain was equipped enough. Who was able to steal people in their brains in front of eyes, even media, and yeah, article-wise it's easy, but the state must be behind it. So if there is no state behind, Germany related, then things become difficult. So find anything statual, and then you can do a Verfassungsbeschwerde. Article 12, Article 14, albeit the requirement to consider that owner that own things can be considered to having to benefit the whole. And one would consider Article 12, Article 1, of course. Article 5, it depends. Any computer savvy would not really be interested in if that thing would comply with his or her opinion. So Article 5 is unlikely. What if that person was not German? How then do anything with the German Verfassungsrecht that requires in most article cases that a citizen is concerned? Else only, in inverted commas, only Article 2 would apply. I'm doing this here not to suggest or allude or anything, but oh yes, I do, because my case here has been done so peculiarly and so specific and so close to psychotic realms that one indeed can consider that also here a kind of a speciality, a kind of a loop, if one wills, has indeed been implemented from the onset, from the very early beginnings of a then indeed assumable necessary planning phase. So let that person stolen be having two citizenships. Well, now here we can build two variants. First variants, that one wants, meaning me, wants desperately to become famous and publish a book. She has already started in 2006 following, so we assume that she harks back thereto. The text would have been predominantly, one could have assumed and hoped for, Islamic studies, if so. If not already politically too unacceptable, that one would indeed proceed with the paragraph hashtag 129 in the text SDGB, schreiben Staatsanwaltschaft Erfurt, which is wrongly addressed, but anyhow, at 306 StGB / Gebäudeschaden, Dachschaden. That would be the first variant, but it's two variants. But if I had done that and would have remained really on Islamic study fields, that, however, would you have invited to push a little further in the afore reminded direction. Second variant, I would proceed with the, albeit the first version was already stolen, and I mean really stolen because I have only fragments found. What then? Yeah, what if she did that? And this is exactly what I did. And this, again, interestingly, would make the whole thing politically, I say, interesting. I say indeed interesting on grounds of what I, on personal grounds, had to ponder about, which is inheritance and really money related. Yeah, what can one do? I cannot here sit and write into the world and see both my wealth vanish, if capability-wise, and myself sitting on about €1,000 a month. The writing and the prospects are not paid by that, this is clear, but also I have no contract. So, and this is exactly where we are. The question is, who is the computer savvy? Is he that one, or better another one? That is indeed now the case that Ina Fleckenstein had suggested when introducing, I would say, reminding me, that very person that would likely have caused the whole mess in misunderstanding, in eagerly awaiting a misunderstandability, of but one seminar, which was not done by him, but already had gotten a good mark on grounds of knowledge of Islamic study and affairs. So, and that was that computer course. So, that person, one of two, that was presiding over that course, was indeed reintroduced on position, now we hear in the sexual and in the child molestation, paragraph-wise. what is it? It was a position hashtag in the aforementioned text at 306 Staatsanwaltschaft ist mir egal. Erfurt, if one wills. At 306 SDGB / Gebäudeschaden, Dachschaden. What is it? 169 following or something. So on that position, though the opposite side, the ending phase of the inside, there that person was reintroduced by Ina Fleckenstein indeed, who would sit in front of me. That was alluded to once in a while. Also here. So there's always other people in front of me, and be they totally unequipped, not under-equipped, but unequipped, with any sound knowledge of what the talk is about. On that very position, end face off inside, what is it, 192, I think that I call half is correct, is there also another person was introduced or suggested. She was wearing an abaya, yeah, this black coat that women over there can wear. For many reasons, one can wear such a thing. And that one would now run out of the tram. She was prior though, and she would announce what she finds on Muslims. Yeah, as a person sitting together with 50 other persons in the tram, one really cannot if one is not able to shut up its ears, then one really can just let pass it by. However, it is indeed possible that those things are being made of relevance for your very life. If on grounds, if you are a person that has nothing to do with those things at all, then this is difficult. Meaning, I was indeed multiple times punished even for my second studies that were financed by my mother, and now we can assume that also she received a treatment or two.
Steel and aluminum tariffs that hurt our industries and hurt working people and communities here in Canada for 4 years. So Canadians are familiar with how this man works. They know that a lot of what happens in an interaction with him depends on what version of Donald Trump you're getting on any given day.
So, and now maybe we can do a third variant that is completely distracted from the two variants on grounds of time passed and time frames completely apart from each other. What if those all my texts were that fantastic that indeed people thought, Scheiße, warum nicht wir? Ja. Scheiße, warum nicht wir? Das ist ja geil. Das liest sich ja total geil. Shit, why not us? This hashtag with this, it is well formulated. That one does not understand it all, but here there's another one. See this. Why not us? Why not us? And this is exactly what had happened beginning of I think 22. Allowing for the excuse. Well, had we known that, we would have contracted you, but we haven't. Things had to go on, so we decided to falsificate everything. So it is decisive and of total importance if but two versions of all of my second version of the reconstruction of the core criminal complex has been kept or not. If not, then I would say you are fucked. Ja, na bla. What, however, if only that poor chap knew that? Yeah, that would completely be a disaster. Because, yeah, this must have been considered if one would want to let responsible but one guy, not German citizen, vanishable, and all else would at best find themselves from the highly criminally relevant in the role of the astounded and co-bemoaning listener of those bad news now. I would assume that is also that at least had been taken into account before it would become clear, and that at the latest was with the beginning of at the latest my Facebook reels. I have now over 60. Not the number is important, but several certain ones are really not bad at all, and some are referable, cross-referable. So at the latest then, all efforts had been made necessary and available state-wise to secure that firstly, and to secure that. Yeah, this is the whole Scheiße. Still, I'm in the position of not being able to ask here on positive knowledge anyone. I just can proceed with those reels and posts on Facebook, shift them over if I think this is a good idea, to make them easier accessible, but Facebook would have to coexist. And if one now harks back, year 22, and thinks, how was that done? That people would comply with that. One would dole out. Funnily indeed, one would dole out hashtags. Yeah. Hashtags. Here, have a hashtag. Have a hashtag. When I realized that, my mood would sink down into cellars. And then what could I do? Yeah, assuming that I was still in one's system, I would start to teach and lecture also on that, to really fixate the idea that would be a scheiß idea to really leave that text in single hashtags and strip it of all meaning and all really criminally relevant and the single ways of showing, supporting and undergirding that.
Some much needed good trade news in a turbulent time. Faisal Islam, BBC News.
So, and as regards the statehood and citizenship matter, there is a difference between jus sanguinis and jus terrestris that one would even not have to decide. Do I want to remain in the German Scheiße here, albeit I'm not really a German? Or would I not want to rid myself here of everything and look back on a couple of years spent in a similar manner that I else would have spent it. And so this is was just a job done. Yeah, I can say it's jus sanguinis. It's the law of the blood. Yeah, one gets that citizenship. The parents have their blood therefrom means what folks are there. What folks are there? They and use terrestris. Where had I been born? Yeah, falsificated. One would here arrive at the thought how to philosophically re-understand things written on dry law-related grounds. Yeah, I have been there born where I was reawakened after having taken too much drugs. After having drunk myself too many bottles that I would only sit on the loo the whole night. So this can have been anywhere. So, I'm going to consider here nothing more. I proceed here with inseminating, and this is the whole thing. I lectured here in 36 minutes indeed.